Hello, this message is for someone who wants something right now, but they don't feel like they got it in them to do what it takes to get that something right now, okay? Actually, you feel like you know exactly what it takes to get this something. So, say you want to purchase something, you know exactly the kind of financing you're going to need and the kind of things you're going to have to do to get there, but you don't feel like you're in a place right now to make it happen. You just don't feel like you got it in you, and this is making you really depressed, really, really, really down. I'm getting because, like, you feel like you need this thing in your life. Whatever you're trying to get, you feel like you need it. Like you almost feel like it's a matter of your emotional survival. Jed, you know how things operate, how it works to get this thing, and you just simply understand that you can't do that right now. You don't think you're gonna be able to do it for the foreseeable future. So this is making you so depressed that it's making you lose any kind of drive for life right now. So it's making you feel like it's actually more impossible to achieve, because you feel like, if I can manage to get through right now, how am I ever going to get to that point that I work myself to get whatever you're trying to get, okay? Okay, yeah, I made a really bad decision today making videos outside where there are endless helicopters. And I don't want to redo the videos. It took a lot for me to sit here and do the videos. I'm not going to get into the personal reasons why, but it was a lot of fucking effort to get to this level, to sit down and do the videos. So there will be helicopter noises, deal with me or not. Okay, it is what it is. But whatever this message is for, yeah, you're really depressed because you think you need this thing in your life, and you feel like you are not, you're starting to lose faith in you ever being able to make it happen, even in the future, because of some loss of belief in yourself that you're having right now. Okay, you're feeling very weak right now. You're feeling unable to make things happen. Okay, so it's like you're losing faith in yourself. Okay, this is what you need to understand. Circumstances will become more favorable to you once you're able to feel differently about yourself. You've been really getting down on yourself, and it's because some kind of obstacle you have. You're dealing with some kind of challenge that makes the day-to-day a lot. You seem very burnt out, if this message is for you. And so it's like whatever challenges and obstacles you've been dealing with them for a while now. So it's like an endurance feeling of, like, you feel like you have to endure and endure and endure, but at the same time, there was one thing that was driving you until recently. There was some kind of goal or a dream or something that you had that was motivating you to get through these hardships that you're going right now, to push through this burnt out. But something has taken place where you have reevaluated the situation to be more unattainable, because you understood something. Say, yeah, like maybe you got a quote on what the actual price of this thing you wanted was, and it was more than you thought, and you realize that you're further from it than you thought. And so that really, like, it's like that little faith in yourself that you had that was driving you, you lost it. And now you cannot find something to motivate you, because that was, I guess maybe you didn't even realize how much that was, like, keeping you together. The hope for a different future, the belief in a different possibility. And I think I've talked about this before in videos, because it's something I think about all the time. How when they train Marines, this is one of the techniques they teach them when they're going through hardship, is to picture the next nice thing, right? And make it an emotional goalpost to get through the hardship. This is what you were doing, And now you took that away from yourself, and you took that away from yourself via changing your perception. You think you're just being logical. You think you're just being logical because you got some kind of reality check. Again, maybe you got a quote or you got a price reality check or something that made the goalpost seem so much more unattainable. Especially because you look at yourself and your current ability to perform, and you're like, there is no way I'm gonna get to this anytime soon enough, because you feel like you're barely holding on, and this was the thing that was making you believe you could persevere, was the thought that you were going to get to this sooner than later. Now you feel like it's so far into the future that is it even, I don't know, it lost its ability to motivate you, and it turned into more of a depressive thing all of a sudden, seeing it so far away. But what you're forgetting is that life is unpredictable. Okay, circumstances are not fixed, and things could change in a way that this becomes more attainable to you quicker. Okay, to continue with this purchasing example, what if you got a different job situation and suddenly this became a viable option much quicker and easier than you realize? You don't know what's going to happen in the future, but you are making assessments from your current circumstance. Now, your current circumstance is far from ideal. That's why you needed this kind of dream to motivate you. So you shouldn't just count on things remaining the way they are, because that is gonna lock you into this path further and make you feel more helpless. You need to open up your mind. That's the message I've been getting. You need to open up your mind to unsuspected possibilities. You need to keep reminding yourself that God could surprise you, that God surprises you all the time. If you don't think that's true, you need to take a moment to sit down and think about how many times God has surprised you in a good way. Okay? How many times you thought it was all lost, and then you got like a miracle type thing happen, a last hope that came true, something that seemed unlikely that actually worked out. You need to sit down and, if necessary, make a physical list of instances in which that has happened for you, because you need to rebuild your faith and rebuild your ability to believe that things can unfold in unpredicted ways if you keep putting your best foot forward, and if you keep believing in a good future, even if you don't see how right now. Okay, this will be the differential between you being able to manifest this or not, because you need to be able to fuel yourself with hope and positive expectation. And this is what this was doing for you, this goal you had. And now, because you took that away from yourself, you decided this is not a viable carrot for me, so it's not a carrot for me. Like, I can't even, so you took that something away from yourself by a change in perspective. You may think it was logical, but it was more so because you didn't see a logical way to get it in the timing that you thought you needed. You decided it was impossible. But like Christians, I think it's a Christian saying, with God all things are possible. That is true. That is true. And we all have had experiences of that being the truth, and we often forget them. So that's why you need to give yourself some time to remember all the times God has shown you in your own life, in your own experience, that with God all things are possible. And you need to hold on to that, and all the positive emotions that you were feeling about this future you were picturing for yourself, you need to refuel those, reactivate them in your vibration to get back on the right track for manifestation. Stop thinking about the how, leave that up to God, and focus on your daily grind of being on the best vibration possible. So hopefully that was helpful.